This is an interesting video. I'm not even sure how to start this one off, but I am here in Elizabeth at the Elizabeth train station, and I want to take you on a hike, a inactive railway. There hasn't been a train on it in over 30 years, but it is one of the open spaces of acreage that is not being used in Union County. So just want to check it out. It's a beautiful day. It's a little chilly. So come join me as I figure out how to access this thing. From Google Maps, it looked like you could just walk on it, but that is not the case. All right, here we go. It's over here. You can see to get on here is pretty. So I just got on here, and there's a few guys behind me. I didn't want to get them in the video. They're really cool, but it's about 10:30 in the morning. It's already mellow time up here, but it's interesting. But check it out. This is I'll show you the rails in a second. But yeah, this is definitely, there's a beaten path here. So look, people are definitely walking on here and doing their thing. Here's the rail, you can see. So this is the old rail line, inactive. You can see. So I'm gonna keep walking. There's a real cool intersection here we want to point out. So here we go. But there's people living back here, man. And I'm being respectful. I'm not gonna blow up their place to live. But check this out. If you saw the last video, or this is where I kayaked from. So if you look across the way, that's that building on the left. That's where I kayaked off of, down here, and we came all the way down. But this is the area. This is the inactive line, and you can see there's a lot of trees on here. These trees, I'm guessing, they're like 20 years old at least, maybe at least, I would say. So it's another intersection here. I'm going to be respectful. If anybody can hear me, I'm just passing through. But this is Cherry Street, and the county bought some property over here on the left. I don't know if you can see it. Again, I want to be respectful. This is where people are living. I'm not here to bother anybody. I'm just passing through. Definitely gotta watch your step here. Now, I don't know if I'm gonna actually pass through here. So yeah, anything you could do with this area here from a park standpoint, or from Conrail owns this, and you could see this is I'm stepping in glass, man. This is not good. I just want to show you what this looks like. So people drive by here all the time. There's a whole world under here. It's not being kept up. Could really use a cleanup. You know, sadly, people have used this to be their refuge. Maybe homeless. Could do a lot better here, but maybe we should do a cleanup back here. Maybe the people could work with Conrail to do a community cleanup, because this is not safe. So this might be the end of the line for me. It looks like too much to come off and back on again. This is more cleaned up over here. Ladies and gentlemen, I almost fell because I was holding on to camera and I should have been holding on to something sturdy. Alright, so it looks like they picked up Conrail, probably cleaned up a lot of this. It's looking better, so it's walkable. So I'm going to keep it moving. Alright, here we go. So this is where you make sure that you keep your eyes open, because there, you know, this is technically not their land here. I want to make sure there's no dogs, junkyard dogs or something, because I gotta find something to jump on. All right, that was not the case. It's getting a little more. All right, this is what it looks like now. So we're in between Elizabeth and Roselle right now. So Elizabeth on my right, and I think Roselle on my left, or it could be both. Getting close to Roselle Park on my right. Okay, it's another big pile here. So we're coming over a trestle here, and I gotta look on the map. I forget what road this is, but I know it. The CVS is right there. If you look, this is a beaten path, so people are using this for transport and other things. There's Westfield Ave. That's still Elizabeth. It's going to be Elizabeth probably still on the left. Yeah, it's interesting. Can you envision this being like a high line? Totally doable. There goes Winnie the Pooh. So you know what's interesting? Since I do a lot of kayaking, I'm used to what they call doing portage, right? Picking up your kayak and having to carry it because there's an obstruction like logs and such. So that's been what's been happening here. So it's kind of like the railway on my left is like the river, and all these blockages, I have to do a little portage to get around them. But yeah, it's a straight shot, and I'm filling up my lungs with some pretty fresh air. It's pretty neat. I don't advise doing this. I'm not advising anybody to do this, although you can tell from this path, this is a beaten path. My next thing I wanted to mention was, if you ever do anything like this, wear sturdy shoes. You don't want to step on a nail. You know, that would be bad. So let's keep going. All right, so we're getting close to Elmora Avenue, and there's a little encampment set up. I think there's people in there. I don't want to be disrespectful, so I'm going to go around. And it's pretty. That's a pretty smart setup, because basically you dead end in here because you can't really easily get out unless you want to climb this vinyl fence here or another fence on the right. So they probably have a way through that brush, but I'm gonna find an easier way out of here. Getting out of here is easier said than done. It's actually, unless you want to scale a fence, it's not easy. And if you scale a fence, there are businesses here and they're gonna be kind of interested in why you're doing that. So I'm gonna find a better spot. This is my opportunity right here. I don't know, man. I might be done with this for today. I thought I was gonna get farther, and some of the stuff I'm seeing is sad and scary. So you walk up on somebody in there, you're covered with fence. So unless you can run and jump and hop a fence quick, you're in there, man. Although I don't think that, I think it's just people who are down and out that need to shelter. So here you go. How you doing? So we're coming up, food bazaar. I'm getting hungry now. Let's see if we get some food around here. This used to be something else back in the day, but anyway, memories. So see over there, see that brown, see that chain link fence with the brown slats? That's right about where that encampment is. And that's coming up on Elmore Avenue where it crosses over. So it looks like they basically set up an encampment so you can't get in there. You got to come through the front, as they say. I haven't checked the other side, but I'm not sure I'm gonna, because let them alone. I just am curious about the trail, but I'm not trying to disrupt anybody's life. So it's very interesting. All right, so I'm in Elizabeth. I'm on Elmore Avenue, and this is a great place to get food. So I'm getting hungry. I'm gonna get some. Let's get some Latin food. See if we can get some vegetarian. That sounds fantastic. So I think there's a couple places here. Try not to get run over. I think I found my place. It's called Latin Soul. Let's check this place out. Yeah. You're smaller? No. Let's see. I don't know if I could eat all that. And that's all right. I know. All right, we got some rice and beans. Put some hot sauce on it. Try a little bit. Friggin' delicious. Well, yeah. Alright, I'm not gonna eat all this, but it's a lot. Alright, I was gonna give this up for the day, but I'm gonna pick it up again on Elmore. I just had a really great lunch. So let's see. Another thing to point out as I'm doing this is the people around here. It's not safe walking through intersections. Like, people don't really respect walking signals, so you gotta be super vigilant. Let me make sure I'm not running up on somebody up here. Oh, interesting. All right, let's give it a second. Yeah, so this is going over Elmore Ave. Let's see. Something really interesting here. You see the track goes back there. That's where the encampment was. I'm not going to go near there. But look where the tracks go here. Look what happens. The track stopped, and there's some private property here. Interesting. That's about it. I'm out of here. They ain't scared. We had an arrangement. We had a deal. All right, gang. I was gonna go further, but I'm tired now. I'm a little out of shape for the walking, but you can see I'm on the cross of Linden Road, crossing over the old CNJ, so parallel between Route 28 Westfield Ave and, sorry about the noise, and First Ave and Roselle. But if I kept going here, it would take me all the way down through Cranford. I think ultimately it keeps going to Highbridge. But I hope you enjoyed this. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you want to see more of these videos. But like I always say, wake up and live.